Welcome to the Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL Fantasy. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. Your hosts, Frosty and Stevo. Welcome everyone to the Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL Fantasy. Back for another here, and we are talking round 2 team list for the preseason challenge. Frosty, how's it going? Are you looking forward to this weekend's footy?
Stevo, very well, my friend. Probably the most excited I've been so far this preseason, and that is because the 4 Vegas teams have named near on full strength sides. So cannot wait to dive into those, dissect them, and plenty have come out of those. Some that the coaches have been riding the wave on, they aren't there. So I can't wait to unpack that throughout this one.
Yeah, I think for me, that sort of round 1 last weekend's games were a little bit not fantasy relevant as such. There was a couple of players in there that were important, but I think this round here has got, more games and more potential of players that, could get our eyes on, could get us clicking them into our fantasy app.
Yeah.
So I'll jump straight into it here. We'll go through the team lists, and I'll give you a chance, Frosty, to talk about anyone that you think is relevant for us. So on Thursday, February the 12th, we have Dolphins versus the Titans, 10 p.m. local time here in New Zealand. Who do you have to look out for there?
Gee, can I say first, how good is it to have Thursday night footy back? Can't wait, a weekend of footy. Let's have it. But
I can't wait.
I
can't wait for my tired Fridays at work again.
Yeah, gee, tell me about it. Oh, then a weekend of footy to recover, so park up on the couch. But to start things off, Stevo, we have Cobbo right at the start there. Now, interesting, he's named at centre, so that's perked up my ears because he's been on my radar a little bit. Not currently in the side, but if he's at centre, he's got a career average on the wing of 38. 70 plus minutes. At centre, it's 41. So he does like centre for fantasy output. It would also mean a DPP coming, which, as we've talked about in previous episodes, is on the lacking side this season. And it also may confirm that Hammer is going to be the Dolphins' fullback, which means there may be no Fuller. So if that is the case, big news there, and it may be an insight into round 1 teams. And the edge, Limuelu, he is only in a few sides, but a few coaches sending their teams through to us have him there, and he now is shaping to be a good pickup. 449k, price at 33, 44.7 average at second row with 50 plus minutes. So you'd envision he's getting that, and so he's shaping as one to have in the edges, especially with some of the news with some players to come with the likes of McEwen. So 3% owned. If you've got him, he looks to be on the right track, and he may certainly be upwards and onwards to the double-digit ownership. Flegler, another one sort of on the edge of fantasy relevancy, but coach is just a little bit unsure. He's on the bench for this, and I would just be looking to see what his minutes are like. Maybe only gets one stint, and I'd love to see just the 20 minutes, maybe 21, 22, and that would give us a little bit of confidence that he might get that 45 plus come round 1. So watch him. And then you've also got the young winger, Fai Mane. Hopefully I've got his name there right. We'll work on that. Starting wing, he's yet to be added to the app, but hopefully he's coming in at 250k for us, and that would be fantastic. So any thoughts on the first game there for Thursday night footy, Stevo?
Yeah, Cobbo's one that I definitely want to watch. I think if he's fit, looking healthy in that team, especially when you add in like the likes of Herbie and who they've got out at the moment, I'll be excited to see Cobbo go. So he's one I've got in my team at the moment. And if he gets the DBP, I will almost certainly probably take him. The other one I'm quite interested in watching is Cooper Bye at 13 there for the Titans. If he was to lock down a spot and play really well, there's a lot of hype around him. He's a bit of a fan favourite, and he's only young. He's got a lot of potential. So seeing how he goes, he's someone that I've definitely got my eye on. And if he can have a good game and sort of nab that starting spot, I think he might fall into quite a few players' teams. So they've got a few out, the likes of Patson, he's playing for the Aboriginals, Indigenous, team. And yeah, there is some good players there to watch. So that's one Thursday night I will be staying up for.
With Cobbo quickly, like if he is centre, that'll mean that he's right centre for the Dolphins, with Herbie obviously on the left. Would you prefer him as a fantasy coach to be named right centre for the Dolphins, where the ball might not go as much, or would you prefer to be named left wing, where he's going to be on the receiving end of that deadly left-hand side?
I would personally like him on the left side, but I'd be taking Herbie regardless. So I want Herbie on that left side, especially if you're
Yeah.
spending 800k. You want him in that prime position, which is going to be the attacking one. And to be honest, I still foresee Averillo being in a centre spot with Hammer at the back and Cobbo potentially going to the wing, because I don't see where else Averillo fits in, and I think he's someone that you should have in your starting side. So unless he goes to a wing and Cobbo stays at centre, which I wouldn't mind, but I still do think there is potential Cobbo goes outside Herbie, and if that's the case, I'm all for that as well. So I think he'll get some points. So he excites me, Cobbo.
On Averillo, our episode coming out on Friday this week, we talk about the new NRL rule changes for 2026 and how that's going to impact fantasy. Could Averillo be the first person to be impacted by that negatively? And could he be that fifth or sixth option sitting there, because he can cover halves, centres, wing, fullback, like you say, but sits there most weeks not getting any game time unless that injury comes?
Absolutely. I mean, Averillo's the prime player that can. I mean, he can
Yeah.
play six, he can play centre, he can play fullback, wing. I do think for the Dolphins though, Fuller is likely to be that person that is the 19 guy. And if you do have an injury to a Herbie or a Hammer, they sort of Fuller goes to fullback and you fill your gap elsewhere. So I think Fuller's going to be that guy. I don't think you need to have Fuller and Averillo. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think there's enough room to have Averillo, Hammer, Fuller, and Herbie all slotted in to those three positions. So unless one's playing wing, I'm not sure how you fit them all in without having, say, Fuller as your 19th man.
Yeah.
Right, we'll move on to the second game here. We've got the Raiders first thing the Storm, 7:30 p.m. New Zealand time on Friday. Who do you have us to look at there, Frosty?
Yeah, plenty in the first one, not so much here. So it'll be quick for me. On the Raiders front, there's Roddy at lock. He did get a game in round 26 27 last year. It's a hard forward pack to earn any meaningful minutes. So even if he goes well here, I only envision a bench spot of 25 to 30 minutes max. So he is starting to pick up some ownership, but I really can't see it myself. And then there's Lasati, starting edge for the Storm. And you think starting edge may be good news, but honestly, to me, I'm not sure about yourself, Stevo. The forward pack that the Storm's rolled out, and the team in general, does not look like they're players that are really going to feature too much. Lero is there, but he's out the first 2 weeks, so it sort of makes sense that Bellamy's rolling him out with the guys who aren't going to really feature in the main squad. So do the Storm roll out their starting pack next week, and does that mean Lasati's not there, and that may mean Chan is the favourite for that right edge spot, and he's only about 313k. So, a little bit to look out there on the right edge for the Storm.
The only thing to note for that, Chan, is playing in the All Stars game, so he's unavailable for selection. And Lasati, I think, being a young guy with little experience, I think you need to give him as much game time as possible to at least have a look at him. So, I mean, for me, this game doesn't excite me at all. Given there isn't much relevancy here. But Lasati would be one I'm going to watch just in case. And the other, there's probably two others for me that I'll keep an eye on, and that is Tamale playing at centre for the Raiders. I know there's a little bit of talk about him being an option. I'm not quite sure if he's got the DBP, but he's someone that you could slot into your winger fullback and your centres, and he's got potential to take a step up this season. Having a little bit of fallback in price when he got injured. And then the other one for me is just Jack Hetherington. He could get a bench spot on the Storm, and if you've got the likes of Tui starting for the Storm, Jack could be someone that does play half decent minutes. So if he's looking like he is ball dominant, getting stuck in, throwing offloads, and Bellamy likes that, that's someone that could come into my equation. I think only around 300k or less. So, yeah, we'll move on to the next.
The danger with that man, Jack Hetherington, if he lasts 4 or 5 games without either taking someone's head off or trying to square up and fight someone, he is doing well. So that's the danger there.
He is danger, and that will come into consideration.
Yeah.
But moving to the Storm, does that change the way he plays? Does he actually, is he more focused and, team first rather than losing his cool?
I'm sure Bellamy would have laid the law. So
there is some people, though, you just can't change. If you
that's right.
Watched the Hornets Pistons yesterday, Isaiah Stewart, you just don't change that sort of person.
No, that's right.
Moving on to the third game, also Friday night, 10 p.m. New Zealand time, we have the Cowboys taking on the Panthers. And this looks like a near full-strength side for the Cowboys, and it looks like a C team that a lot of players I haven't seen before for the Panthers.
Yeah. If you're all right with it, Steve, we might leave the Cowboys to the end and just do the 4 Vegas teams all together, just for listeners there, if that's all bunched, because I think that's going to really impact team choices and adjustments to our teams. Some of these others, like the Panthers, no impact at all. So I'm going to skip Cowboys for now, and Panthers, yeah, like you said, I'm not sure who most of these young fellas are, so nothing there for myself.
Nothing there for me. I mean, Jesse McLean is, someone that people go and chuck into the team, but I mean, unless he gets a genuine starting gig, he's one of those players that's likely to be your potential 19th man that you don't go near because he won't get any game time week to week.
Yeah, and I think on that, again, coming up Friday, coaches may have seen the new rules and haven't paid that much attention, but he's another one where if he's the 19th man and there's an injury goes down, so it's 3 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks, and you think, there's a wee runway there. If he can average 45, he'll make me 150k, because I think he's only around that 250k mark. Sure, he might do that, and he might make you 80, 90k, not quite enough. He goes back to 19th man, there's an HIA with 5 minutes to go and he scores a 2. There goes 40k out the window and he's done nothing for you. So that's also something to be aware of with the likes of those guys around that 250, 300k mark.
Right, moving on to Saturday, and we have an afternoon game here. The Wars, up we go, against the Seagulls, sporting a new logo there. That game starts at 3:40 p.m. Again, the Eagles look very deplenished,
Yeah.
whereas the Warriors have a few of their the main team there, but a lot of them also playing in that All-Stars game, which we'll touch on at the end.
Yeah, no, nothing for Manly for me, but Warriors, a little bit here for the fans. Gannon starting at edge, only 350k, and that's only priced at 33. So if he nabs that over a Halasima, and Halasima's at centre and he possibly lingers there for a little bit, Gannon may well and truly be worth the risk at 350k as a bench player. Halasima at centre, could he be there for the year? I mean, that's been one of the downfalls of the Warriors the last few years, hasn't it? They've shown a bit of promise across the team, but the centres has been a struggle point, and he displayed speed, power, and the all-round game where he could just break open games, given that space out wide. But at 500k, if that was to be the case, whether it's centre or sharing edge minutes, unfortunately, Halasima is not looking great for fantasy coaches, but I wouldn't mind seeing him roam out in the centres for the Warriors personally.
Yeah, for me, there's not much in it. I'd like to see Wade Egan he won't play big minutes in this game. There's no need to. So I'd like to just see how he goes for the first 20 or 30 minutes, however long he plays. If he's looking really good, he's someone that you and I have discussed that's in our sort of equation for our fantasy team.
Yeah.
The other one, Capewell, seeing if he's lost any speed. He's not the fastest player in general, but he is someone that's got that centre tag as well. And if with the new rule changes, if he is a 80-minute edge and he's not someone that goes and gets pushed out to centre if there is an injury, which happened numerous times last year, because you're going to have that extra reserve on the bench. That's someone that could come into my equation as a sort of reliable scorer in your edge centres. But yeah, not too much there for me. Happy to move on.
Yeah, Sam Healy. I mean, it's only a trial, but seeing him at the 14 jersey worries me slightly. So that'd be one to look out for when it comes to Wade Egan stocks come round one for the Warriors.
Next game we have following that one on Saturday is West Tigers versus the Roosters. And anyone of interest there for you, Frosty?
Very little in this game, Stevo. Makasini, he is well owned across the fantasy landscape this preseason. Named at centre. But again, one of those players for myself, the group of players it's been named with, he may be sliding down and becoming a super risky red dot. They've got the bye round one, and for that reason alone, being a newbie going for a spot, he's certainly not cemented anything. I'm not sure he's going to make my side, but a lot of coaches think he has it. They're willing to risk the round one bye. And like you say, maybe he's another one where he's a youngster, getting the experience where they can. It all sort of counts when you're that young. So that might be Benji's line of thinking. And he might be there next week. I'd like to see him next week with a fuller strength Tiger side. But that's all for me. What about yourself there, Stevo?
Yeah, I'd like to see him with a full strength team if he makes that centre role. It's probably someone I think I'm going to stay clear of round one. And if round two he is named to start, I'd probably give it a week. And then round three, usually you've got someone after the first couple of rounds you need to get rid of. That everyone's sort of, taken a flyer on and it's sort of not paid off, or there's an injury early, and that's someone you can easily switch to, because he's not going to he's not going to be blowing out of price after 1 week and after round two. So yeah, it would be a round three target for me personally. We've got him in our team currently, but it's more of a placeholder.
Yeah.
In terms of the Roosters, the only one there that I have a little bit interest in is Suo Wong. It would be how he plays. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. He's got a body built for NRL, playing in the edge or playing at 13. And if he was to be a starting lock, that's someone that I would have a little bit of interest in. But he's probably at that mid-range price where there's already other value, and is a little bit risky in what way they go. And we've seen in recent years with the Roosters, there's a lot of injuries in that four pack, and things chop and change pretty quickly. And they've got some handy replacements. So there's not too much. I think Hugo Savala, I'll enjoy watching this game just for him, because I actually really rate the lad. And I feel a bit gutted for him that he's probably not going to play any rugby in first grade this year, unless there's an injury to DCE or Sam Walker.
Yeah.
Right, moving on to your faithful, and two teams here that are looking like naming pretty good sides. We have the Knights versus the Bulldogs Saturday. That's the late game. That is not late for us. It's 8 p.m. What do you have for us here?
Yeah, gee, really looking forward to this. This will be the highlight of my weekend. A couple of near-on full-strength sides. Leo Thompson's in the All-Star game, so we're missing him. But other than that, the Dogs are looking pretty sharp. So excited to see the boys run out. For the Knights, Sharp at fullback. Does that mean Sandon Smith has the half spot? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, he's the most flexible of the two, so that sort of makes sense. So it might not be too much, but Sandon Smith's stocks may be rising slightly here. McEwen on the bench, his stocks are going down, so Can't seems to be starting. That sort of makes sense. He's shown enough for the Knights when he's had those opportunities. So, McEwen will be finding his way out the door when it comes to my side. The Dogs started with my very first draft. I've only done 3 or 4, and he's found his way out pretty quick. But with this side, this makeup, he maybe find his way back, and that is Bailey Hayward. Starting hooker, which I knew, but I want to see the bench. 4 forward bench. There is Kurt Mann. I know he can play a bit of hooker, but he offers plenty as a ball playing 13. So if Serrata is taken away from that just to play 15 minutes or so at hooker, I would be awfully surprised. Even if he takes the last 8 or 10 minutes at hooker, I'm not too worried. 70 minutes for Bailey Hayward is certainly looking far more likely than Reid Mahoney there at the Cowboys. So yeah, that's what I've got. What about yourself, Stevo?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see the backline how they go. I'm really keen on Dylan Brown this season and seeing the dynamics with him and Smith. I think if it was Brown and Sharp in the halves, I'd be all over Brown because I think he'll have to do a lot more kicking. How it works with this, I'm not too sure, and I'm not sure exactly where they're going to fit in Ponga, where what you do with Sharp at that stage because I think their best team needs to include Dominic Young and Greg Marsdew. So
Yeah.
if they're both fit. So I'm not exactly sure at the moment how it pans out. Gay Guy obviously comes in for Hunt. So yeah, I'm not sure if Smith and Brown will stay there, but really interested to see how it goes. Smith was someone that we had thought about, and we've opted out, but is also someone that if he does lock down that role, someone of interest. But I think he could be an easy out if they have a couple losses to start the season.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think fantasy coaches have probably lucked in with Ponga being unfit at the moment and sort of being rested just for Vegas because it allows us to see what Brown's kicking role will be like with Smith.
yep.
Instead of seeing that round one, we get to see it now, and that'll give us a fair idea. If it's 100 or less, I will personally be jumping off him because he's sort of the Dylan Brown of old and might average 41, 42, but certainly not the 50 to 55 we're envisioning if he got 400 kicking meters being the 7.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of the Bulldogs side, there's not too much interest there for me other than Bailey Hayward. And yeah, I like the makeup of this team and looking at that, he looks like someone that will pay 70 minutes. And if that's the case, I'll be locking him into my round one team.
Yes, Carraz out. So again, one like Ponga probably being rested. Hopefully he's there round one. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, obviously there was that bit of talk about Carraz with his hamstring or calf. I forget which one it was. So yeah, there's a little bit of resting there until Vegas.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next game. Sorry, is the late game on Saturday. 4 games on our Saturday. It's
How good?
that could keep us out of trouble for quite an afternoon.
Yeah.
10 past 10, Dragons versus Rabbitohs. Again, Dragons look full strength there. Rabbitohs playing a bunch of nobodies. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly that. Might save the Dragons, just go back to back with the Cowboys from earlier, just leave those 2 Vegas sides. But yeah, Bunny's certainly nothing of interest there. A couple of names sort of floating around, but just wait to next week for those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing for the Rabbitohs for me. In terms of the Dragons, though, there's a couple of big selections here that are a little bit off-putting for me. One is down there is David Farley or Fail down at
Yeah, Farley.
20. If he's not making the starting team, he's in a void. And we have mentioned in our video that comes out Friday that he is someone that I would suggest does get an 18-19 role on a squad now that there's 6 players named. And it may trick a few people in to see that green dot, come round 1. So Setu 2 is someone that looks really exciting. And if he can nab that starting spot, that's someone I want to see here, along with Daniel Atkinson. Those 2 players in particular should get good minutes in this game. And then for the Dragons, that Toby Couchman and Hamish Stewart are 2 people I'm really keen on. And seeing how many minutes they play, if they look good, what their role is exciting for me. How about you, Frosty?
Yeah, Fale, that'll be hurting coaches, but I think easy straight swap to Setu too when he comes into the app. I don't think he's quite there yet, but he did look the goods, full of promise, strong ball carrier, looked to get involved, carries out of yardage, an attacking threat. So, yeah, he'll certainly be in my team if he keeps that spot over in Vegas. Gula, he's an interesting one now. He'll certainly be a pod play and stay that way. A long time ago at the start of preseason, then before they sort of come back together, Flanagan said that Gula was going to be starting prop. Looks like he's kept his word. 440k at 33, and he averaged 41 in 50 minutes when starting at prop last year. So it is instantly out of the gate 8 points of value. And you'd like to think another preseason, he's got another year older, a bit more experience. You might even squeeze out that 10 points of value. So could be a value pick there. Otherwise, yeah, Stewart, again, with new NRL rules announced, people might be just skimming over them and carrying on, but we do address plenty coming out with our episode on Friday. Stewart is another one we go into depth there. Maybe a little bit risky now with that new bench makeup.
And we'll just touch back here to the Cowboys. Looking full strength, Frosty.
Yeah.
What takes your fancy on that side?
Yeah, first up, as I spoke about before, Reed, his stocks will have to fall after this. Sonny Luke there on the bench. He'll have to be taking 15 minutes, possibly 20. But yeah, not great for Reed stocks. I think he's averaged about 41 in 60 minutes in years gone by at hooker. So yeah, certainly not what you're after there, especially if he is going to be your starting hooker. Come up with a new plan there, team. Purdue centre, there was chat about him being in the halves. Looks to be in the centres. Probably an avoid with that. However, his centre partner, Labour, is only at 373k, priced at 28, and could be the centre option if he can keep away the danger, which is Chester when he comes back fit.
Yeah, it's a shame Chester's not fit, and we don't get to see the makeup of that back line with Chester. Whether Purdue is in its sixth there instead of Clifford, and yeah, Chester in its centre, and I think that's the way it will play out. But we don't know, and we don't know how it goes yet. I mean, the team looks pretty full strength though. Lukey is someone that I'm pretty interested in as well. He's
300k flat, I think.
300k flat, and he's exciting, and he breaks tackles. He's quite a running edge, so that's someone that I've actually got in my 21 at the moment. But I really want to see his makeup of his minutes, and it doesn't excite me seeing like a Bateman on the bench there.
No.
But Aluki's someone that I think will only play 50, 60 minutes most weeks. So, and obviously Nanai not there as well. So yeah, depends how they roll out come round 1 in Vegas.
Yeah.
And we'll quickly now touch on the All-Star game that is named.
I think you got Sharks Eels down the bottom there, Stevo.
Oh, have I? My bad. Let's go back into that. Sharks Eels. We've got a Sunday game, don't we?
We do. All by itself.
Hopefully it's worth looking at these team lists. Sharks, I'd say no. Eels. A few there to look at, potentially. The game is on Sunday at 8 p.m. New Zealand time. Do you have anyone to note down here?
For the Sharks, just one's missing. I'm not sure what that goes with him if he's injured or not, but Colquhoun, which again's been on a few coaches' radar as a cheapie, not there at lock. So that's slightly concerning. Maybe there'll be news out if he's injured, hopefully. Hopgood at prop for the Eels, 594k, priced at 44. I'd certainly say watch your first couple of games. No point risking that. If you played last year, you know that the coach was doing all sorts with him. He might be a late change to have 20 minutes at hooker, to the bench 40 minutes, come and play 20 minutes at prop. So yeah, they're on the up. You'd like to think there's more stability this year, but I would certainly be watching after last season's circus there with him.
Yeah, I do think Hopgood's a bit more of a safer option this season because Now that you've got Riley Smith and De Silva, I think there's no chance he's playing any hooker. And I do think last year they were sort of managing him because the previous season he was suffering with a back injury. And I think they managed his minutes a little bit last season, given that they position on the table, injury to Moses. So potentially this year is a year they really target that top 8 and they make an all go at it. And if they are going to go good, I think Hopgood does need to play 60 minutes. And if he's playing 60 minutes, I do think there's really good value there. So it is someone that is maybe a watch round 1. But he could be a cheeky flyer. Like if you want to pod that, it's going to be someone that, flips it for you. He could be a smoky option round 1.
And like certainly one that I'll be thinking about. I won't have round 1, but and that's purely because as a coach this year, I'm happier. I think it's a safer option, which is part of my learnings. I think it's a safer option to watch his first 2 games. And if he goes 55, 57, something like that, averages slightly above 55, I'm happy to pick him up round 3 or 4. I might even have 3 games of that. Even at 3 games at 55, he might make 30 to 40K. It's not going to hurt you. But I don't want to be wasting the trade 2 rounds in because he's averaging 40 and he's starting to leak coin.
No, I fully agree with that. Right, we will move on now to the All-Stars game. And we won't touch on the women's, but if we go straight to the men's here, firstly, are you looking forward to this one? This is Sunday, 5:45 p.m. New Zealand time.
Yeah, always look forward to this game, Stevo, but slightly disappointed in the NRL at the timing of it. 5:45 on a Sunday, it doesn't really allow many Kiwis to travel that far around the North Island. That's a 4-hour trip back for us, and you're not really wanting to get back at 2 o'clock in the morning or so with work the next day.
We have done it before to watch the Wires versus the Bulldogs.
And we'll do that any year, any week, any day. But for the All-Stars, don't have quite the same level of commitment as I do to the Dogs. But always plenty of passion and energy in this. Always a spectacle. Looking forward to it. It's always odd, especially on the Dogs and especially the fantasy front, it just takes away some key players from teams being named. I guess I'd rather that for them, get this in place. Some of the teams still have stick control next week, don't they? So
yeah,
just the Vegas ones missing out.
So the thing I like about this game is not too much on the Kiwi side in terms of someone I'm interested in. However, there is Keanu Kinney. Quite a few coaches are looking at him, thinking there's a bit of value there. I mean, he's exciting and someone to watch. I personally won't be going on round 1, but just to have a look at Trey Mooney as well, another look at him, someone I'm excited for. But the main thing I like here is actually the Trindle-Hines combo rolling out here for the Indigenous side, and seeing how Hines goes here, because Hines he does perk my interest a little bit. Someone that if he does take a little step up from last year, gets a bit more confidence, has a bit more domination in terms of that halving the pair, someone I'm a bit excited about. And then Paxton. For the Titans playing here for the Indigenous side. Again, seeing how he goes, and if he looks like someone that's going to be steady for the Titans this season, he will be in my round 1 team.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like you say, nice point there about Hines, because if he is showing a bit more confidence and he's kicking a little bit more than last year, getting more than that 50%, all of a sudden he might just enter my equations that little bit more come round 1.
Right, I think that's all we have for us today. There's no one else you want to mention. What's your highlight you're looking forward to this weekend? Is it the Bulldogs game?
Oh, 100%. Full strength, all but Dogs and all but full strength Knights. Looking forward to that one.
I think it's going to be definitely that game. For me, I enjoy watching the Knights. It's always a team that I like to watch, and I want to see Dylan Brown there and how he plays, because that's going to be exciting. And up against the Bulldogs, it's I've got that added interest in it. And again, I will watch the Māori versus the Indigenous as well. So looking forward to that. And yeah, that's us for today's episode. And thank you everyone for watching. If you have stuck around this long, please do look in the description and go to our overall league and join for our league this season. And yeah, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. We appreciate your support for the Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL Fantasy. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify and Facebook, and most importantly, thanks for watching.